Hello, this is the St. John Fine Arts School Grade 6 Mathcasts with Mr. Burko. This is Fractions Greater Than 1, Chapter 7, Lesson 2. Our goal today is to compare numerators and denominators to interpret fractions. In your textbook on page 212, we have two characters, Calvin and Félix, and they are packing supplies to send to schools in Africa. They've got two cartons, but the cartons are different sizes, so they're packing these cartons at different speeds. Calvin can pack a quarter of his carton in 5 minutes, while Félix can pack half of his carton in 5 minutes. The question that we have, and I'm joined today for the first time by Martina, is:
how many cartons can Calvin and Félix fill in 25 minutes?
Thank you. Here's Félix's solution. You'll notice here that in 0 minutes, obviously he can fill nothing. But in 5 minutes, he's packing half his carton already, and then another half in 10 minutes, and that means his carton is totally full. By 15 minutes, he's got a full carton and a half, and they want to know how many cartons can he fill in 25 minutes. So we need to complete this model. So once again, here's our question A. 0 minutes, nothing. 5 minutes, half a carton. A full carton in 10 minutes, and I'm representing the next carton in red. And then a full 2 cartons after 20 minutes, and after 25 minutes he needs to start a third carton in green. Question B is asking you to build models to show the number of cartons that Calvin can fill in 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 minutes. Show the fractions on a number line like Félix's. Well, at the bottom here you'll see I've written half, 2 over 2, 3 over 2, 4 over 2, and 5 over 2. That's representing the parts of the box that's filled, and a whole is represented by the 2 because we can fit 2 halves in there. But when we do our next one, Calvin's solution, we're going to have to change the bottom of that fraction, and I'll show you that in a minute. Calvin can fill a quarter of a box in 5 minutes. He can fill 2 quarters of a box in 10 minutes. He can fill 3 quarters of a box in 15 minutes, and then he can fill 4 quarters of a box, or 4/4 of a box, or 1 whole box in 20 minutes. When he starts his 25 minutes, then he has to start a new carton, so we are representing that by the red color at the top. Here are the fractions that are represented in Calvin's solution: 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarters, 4 quarters, and 5 quarters. Question C wants us to answer how many cartons can each student fill in 25 minutes. Well, we discovered this in A and B. Félix can fill 2½ cartons in 25 minutes. That's 5 over 2 of a carton, or 5 halves. And Calvin can fill 1¼ cartons in 25 minutes. That's 5/4 of a carton. Question D asks us to reflect on how Félix counted by halves to describe his fractions. How would Calvin count to describe his fractions and explain? Well, Félix counted by halves. He could fill half a box every 5 minutes, so it made sense for him to count in halves. But Calvin counted by fourths because that's how much he could fill in 5 minutes. So he could fill a quarter of a box every 5 minutes, so it made sense to learn how to count in quarters. Question E wants us to reflect on why did you use more than 4 cubes to build the model for the improper fraction in part B? Well, if you'll remember, we had to fill our box, and we managed to get to 1 full box, and we had 1/4 of a second box full. Well, we represented Calvin's full box with 4 cubes, or 4/4, and we call these quarters sometimes. When 4 cubes were in the box, it was full, so we needed to start a new box, and that's why we had 5 cubes in total, and that's how we created an improper fraction, 5 over 4. That's all we have for today. Fractions Greater Than 1, Chapter 7, Lesson 2 is all over. Thanks for joining me.